Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 21st of September. So looking at the euro dollar following the FOMC decision, well, we saw an immediate sell-off, and it's just held where it basically sold back into that 34 moving average. Question is where next, of course. Well, tricky one at the moment. There's the potential for it to push up. It's got a daily pivot above us. It's just come down to the 60-minute there. It's got a potential to run up towards that, the 21s. Most of the news there I read through, the news was pretty much as expected, and there's still the open rate or the good possibility of an interest rate increase in December in the US being left open. October will be the start of the winding down of the quantitative easing purchases. So it really does look like it's pretty much in line now. It's just really how this market, whether expectations were really for it to be softer than that, I'm not sure. But for now, though, it's pretty much in line. So it's a hard one in terms of deciding. In terms of price action, what we're seeing here, you're almost looking at bear flag territory, and a break of the lows may see it's pushing on down towards the daily certainly yesterday's lows and the S1. Any sort of sustained retracement here, which I almost expect, would see us back towards a daily pivot, maybe more, but we'll see how we work out this morning. It's not the easiest one to read for sure. Pound is not too dissimilar. It's a little bit more already making a part of the movement, but the pound, what it's done on the dailies though is more important to me. Is it has put that sort of a bit of a weaker move in here in terms of putting the divergence into the highs, and it's left itself into a bit more of a weaker position, which if you can start breaking down beyond that weekly pivot there, we may see some more downside overall. So as I say, it looks very bitty in terms of what we're seeing. Maybe the 34 could be the line of or just a trend line, which is pretty much where the 34 is on this 60-minute chart. If it starts breaking down there, I'd be looking for yesterday's lows, S1, maybe a bigger correction. It certainly doesn't look good at the moment, but it's still very early morning here at the moment. Now, any push up, it's just run into the 60-21s. Any push up beyond that, well, daily pivot becomes a more obvious target. Okay, that's the pound. Let's have a look at the dollar yen. We're going to have the same sort of argument almost on all of these. Dollar yen yesterday, well, it was already, in fact, that was one. Okay, it was having a bit of correction prior to the move, but it's continued in this upward route, and it's probably the easiest one in terms of thinking, well, yeah, it's just continuing the way it was running. It's looking good, probably for more upside. Maybe intraday we may see a bit of a correction. Any correction back to that daily pivot would give us a chance of a further push, although it's I'm just looking, there's a bit of divergence where we're sitting at the moment. Just be interested in this morning to see if we get a bit more confirmation from that, and perhaps a bit of a correction back to that daily pivot. But even then, as I say, a daily pivot may give us an opportunity for further upside there. Okay, Aussie dollar. Well, it's really seeing through this market this morning and pushing on south. It's sorry, just trying to change the asset. Well, continuing through from yesterday. There was some signs up until yesterday of weakness. It pushed up most of the day there, gave it back. It's now sort of in this sort of third wave, and at the moment it would look like it's running down back towards that monthly pivot. So not a lot else there. It's on the weak side. It's just as the yen's pushing up, the That looks like it's pushing down at the moment. And finally, the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar, again, no surprises there, pushed up yesterday in the end. It was reacting back against its daily 21. This looks like it could now push towards that daily 50, daily 34, daily 50 sort of zone above us. It's looking in that sort of mode. It's continued with these higher lows, even yesterday when it was recovering slightly, I say recovering, strengthening against the dollar here, but it then found the 50, the news came out and boom. And it looks like it could push on even further up at this rate. Okay, that's pretty much it. Today's news-wise, well, we've already had the Bank of Japan's policy decision out there, which was leave everything alone. I haven't seen the statement, but it's barely moved. So there's a press conference at 7:30, which should be happening as I speak. May give it a bit more volatility. Side of that, we've got public sector net borrowing in the UK at 9:30, may give a bit of volatility. And we've got Draghi speaking at 2:30 now. Draghi's conversation at 2:30. He's due to deliver opening remarks in the European Systematic Risk Board annual conference. Boy, that's an interesting one. So whether or not he creates some volatility at 2:30, that is it for the day. Have a great one. Bye for now.